Alright guys, bringing you another review video. This is a dual wireless microphone provided by FiFine Technology. This is a dual, it's a K040, okay? What you have is, I'll go through what some of the features are and stuff like that. This is a sponsored video. I am going to review it like I did the last one. Immediately I notice a difference in the feeling. This one's metal instead of plastic. This one has two microphones instead of one. You get what you pay for. The more you pay, the better you get. So I guess let's start off with the base unit. Base unit is a solid metal. You have a solid metal construction around. On the back, you have balanced out for individual microphones 1 and 2. And then you have a mix. I'm sorry, you can't see that. So this is unique. At least I haven't seen this too often. You have two microphones and you have typical 2 outs, but it also has a mix of the 2 of them here. So if you wanted to mix 2 microphones in a karaoke or something like that, you could do that. But as for DJ use, you could say this is the DJ and this is the wedding, ceremony person, and you could pipe these into your mixer individually, or like I said, in a situation where it's just singing or whatever, you just use them combined together. I have to plug this in. That'll be a different video. Power buttons on the front. We have individual gain controls for both LCD display. Removable antennas, which is good in case you break them or you want to extend them. They do sell extenders on eBay. And DC input, of course. Rubber feet, it is metal. There is a clear layer of plastic over here to protect it from scratches. I am going to leave that on. And you take that off and it'll look nicer. Metal, it's metal. It's not the greatest quality. First of all, this microphone's only $100. $105 or something like that. So you really can't beat the price that you're getting 2 microphones in one. It comes with 2 microphones. It also comes with 2 windscreens. It has this little anti-roll thing, so it doesn't. You put it on the microphone so it doesn't roll away. A patch cable, unbalanced T-tip ring, right? I don't know the quality on that, so you got 2 of these, and note the different colors. You got a black one and a gray one, so you can know what channel's what. You're gray, on the other one. Okay, so that's cool. Here's your antennas here, and these are standard BNC. They actually look just like a router antenna, so I assume that if you got the frequency matched, you probably could get longer antennas. I do like that these are removable, because they're going to break eventually. Tiny little adapter. I'm really surprised it doesn't use that much. It is only using 12 volts, 1 amps. Now, for you guys that like to hack things and run it off of a battery, this is just a standard barrel connector. I believe it's 5.5 millimeters. I don't know the inner diameter. And the center is positive and the outside barrel is negative. So, yeah, you could get a 12 volt battery and run this completely battery powered. Make sure you get the polarity right. And we'll go into the microphones themselves. Now, this is a hefty mic. I mean, it's definitely metal. You can unscrew from here. It runs on 2 AA batteries. The batteries go up into the handle. They're saying, one thing it says here is they didn't word it right, but basically, when no use it, please remove the battery. In other words, translation, remove batteries when not in use, because batteries, they will leak and destroy it. Now I'm going to give you a peek at the actual Elements dynamic mic, and it looks like it's actually just like a regular, Shure or whatever. It's got a rubber thing in here and shock mounted. Again, there's going to be another video that demonstrates, what how this works out. We're gonna do another video. Here's the anti-roll feature. I don't know if you can see that. And then if you want to, windscreen. Although right here it does have an anti-roll thing on it, but some people don't want the metal touching metal. So yeah, this can go on here. And this is a pretty big, it is kind of big, but you know what? What I'm gonna use it for, basically give it to the guests so they can talk for their toasts and whatnot. So let's pop some batteries in this and we'll show you what it looks like. Now, if you remember my last video, it was a little tiny one that kind of plugged in. The receiver was, the jack was built into the receiver. You could change the channel, but it was a real pain in the ass. And the display, it had a display, but I think it was fake. Put your batteries in forward here. Make sure you get the polarity right. And I am not doing the polarity right. Yeah. Now, I have to figure out, getting this out was a tad bit interesting. So I'm gonna roll, to get the battery out, I'm going to see if I can do this. Yeah. This is something you need to change. These are standard Duracell batteries. Okay, so basically you have to take these two clips here, stretch them out, slide the battery all the way down to the end, and then you can tap it out. So we're gonna put the negative in. Yeah, this is a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. I would almost be tempted to break these tabs off, because then it would come out easier, and it's not gonna go anywhere, okay? And it snaps in and holds in pretty well. All right, so let's show you what it looks like, at least on the, see, it says channel 12, and it actually tells you the frequency, 575.7 megahertz. Press and hold, turns it off. There is a high-low switch here on the bottom. You have to look at that. Just pushing it, it actually, it says high-low, but this is actually changing the frequency. So like if you want to, see, you can, so the last microphone we reviewed was 30 bucks. You couldn't do this. Let's see how many we got. I'm gonna give you a frequency range too. 48. So like 50 channels, right? And when you let go, it tells you the frequency. So we're 573.7. Let's go to channel 4. 574.1. It actually does work. And you know, the other one didn't, it said like, it looked like it had something, but it really didn't. It didn't, it was fake. This one's real. So we'll go over some of the features, I guess, just to give you whatever. They give you a manual, 2 microphones, a receiver, 1/4-inch cable, the antenna, a tiny little adapter, 2 windscreens, 2 anti-rolling rings. The display, so the display on the unit, which you'll see on the next video, basically you have the RF and AF, which is radio frequency strength, and the audio frequency strength. So the left one will tell you how much of a signal you have. The AF will tell you how loud of a signal you have. And again, it does the channel thing here. It'll say 001 all the way up to 050, and it'll tell you what channel you're on. So if you have a problem where you're at a gig and for whatever reason something's interfering, screw it. Open it up, change the channel, and you're fine, good to go. Obviously, both microphones could be on the same frequency, although I wouldn't recommend it because the receiver would just be confused with 2 signals. So you want to make sure that the one mic and the other mic are on 2 different frequencies. Volume A and volume B, yeah, that's nothing. 12-volt input, balanced out. I took it apart and looked inside. It looked pretty solid. It was just one single board with a bunch of little VLSI, chips on it, and I don't know what's in it. I mean, nobody can tell, but it didn't look like it was junk or anything. I think the case could be improved, but but that doesn't really matter. For the price, it's a good, very good price. The antennas, I like that you can bend them, obviously. There's a 90-degree bend here, or you can do it straight, depending on what application you're going to put in your DJ rig or not. And I really like that it's removable. Let's see. We're going to test this, too, but it's too dark out right now. All right. Yeah, so like I said, the unique feature that I like is that, like I said, depending on your application, microphone A, microphone B, you know, or antenna, you know, microphone 1, microphone 2, separate, completely separate. And then you pipe that into your mixer and you can turn them up and down as necessary or combined. So this runs at 573.5 megahertz to 594.9 megahertz. I don't know if it's FCC approved. I'm sure it is. Or not approved, but I mean, I'm sure it's in the range that's legal. Here it lists all the frequencies and everything. If you're using more than 2 mics simultaneously, you'll need to have at least 2 megahertz frequency separation between every 2 mics. Okay, so that's something you need to keep in mind. So like, if you're on channel 1 on 1, that's at 573.5. Channel 2 is at 573.7. That is too close because 573 and 573 is not too off. So if channel 1 was on, if one mic was on channel 1, 573.5, your next one would have to be for 575 point something, okay, to be separated. So keep that in mind. 73, 74, 73, 74. Yes, 573, 575. So somewhere around 575.5. So if one mic is on channel 1, look at the chart. Your second mic should be on channel 11. That's 2 megahertz apart. That's the bandwidth it uses, is how wide the frequency. Look at all these frequencies this thing has. It's almost 2 pages. You got a ton of frequencies here. That's like 50 channels. So, you know, put them far apart. You know, if you got one that's giving you trouble, just push the button. I think that's the basics of it. All right, so here we got some of the features. Number 3, release both buttons till you see the, okay. Press and hold the set power button simultaneously until the dash 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 appears. Release both buttons. This is probably a factory reset. Okay. Well, it's the only reason to do a factory reset is if you got a new microphone or something. Make sure you've done all the above steps before going to resetting. If you haven't changed your fresh batteries yet, always use good batteries too, because that's basically going to affect your signal level. No sounds, troubleshooting guide. You know, I mean, it's not a bad little system for $100. It'll actually run on 9 volts too, according to this. So basically you need 4 AA batteries and a plug, and that's it. If you want to plug in separately, you need 2 XLR cables. We're going to light this up, but we're not going to do it today because I want to test it out. Like I did the last one. I appreciate you guys sending me this, and I'm going to be honest with the review, and so far, so good. I'm curious how far these people go with quality of microphone. If you can get a dual microphone with selectable frequencies and removable antennas for $100, I would really be curious to know what their high-end model does. I mean, I don't know what else they make. I think they make only microphones, but this is pretty cool. Putting like the big companies out of business here. I mean, you could get a Samsung or you could get a Shure, but if it's all operating on the same frequency, I mean, basically the problem you're gonna have on a microphone is either the antenna or the frequency it's using, you know. Most of the time, the electronics are pretty solid. The microphone element's not gonna be an issue. I mean, dynamic microphones have been around for a while now, so it's not like that's new. So the only thing that's different, basically, is the electronics in it and the frequencies you can broadcast at. So I'm gonna hold this down. See if I can do this. I'm gonna press and hold it from off position. Maybe I hit this wrong. Hold this button here. We're holding it until it resets. There's a little tiny screw there. I'm not sure what that's for. Yeah, I should read the book on how to reset it. It actually says channel A right on it. So, come on, reset. It's supposed to put dash, 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 dash. And of course I'm not doing it right. Okay, now a minute ago, it was actually giving me the frequencies. Oh, I know. You pick the channel. Let's say 27. You let go, then it shows you the frequency. Yeah, so just remember, they gotta be, look at the guide, make sure you're far apart. You don't wanna put one on channel 1, one on channel 2, they can be too close together, because it does take up frequency. Now, I don't know if these are digital or analog, I don't know if there's any delay in them or whatever, but that'll be during the test. Pretty, it's plastic, but then it's got an aluminum shell on it. So like in a situation like this, it's off. Turn it off. But according to the manual, what you should do at least is take one battery out. That's it. See, maybe I didn't do this right the last time. No? Taking this last battery out is a bitch. So what you gotta do, take them all out, is, I can show you this. Take this battery, you have a little clip here. Push this, oh, like separate it a little. Could be the batteries I'm using too, although these are standard. There you go. And now I pushed it to the clip itself, you can see. Okay, now it'll come out. Again, you might be able to bend this a little. It may loosen up. There's a PC board in here and everything. That's not junk. I'm assuming this will loosen up after a while in here. Not an easy way to change it out. Don't store anything, not just this, but anything with batteries in it, because they will leak and destroy your device. All right, guys, so this is just, I don't want to call it an unboxing, more of a little product tour, show you what the heck this thing is. A FiFine or FiFine K040. You can get it on Amazon. Look it up. It's 105 bucks. And that is so cheap. I bet you it's going to perform just as well or better than the other microphone that I had tested, of which I'm going to use one of the two this weekend at a wedding. Not for me. I'm using a wired because I don't need to wander around. But the people do the toasts and the speeches and whatever. Anyway, here's the other mic here. Looks identical. Oh, I'm wrong. If you can notice, there's a slight difference in the color. So one's gray, one's black. So the black one would go, okay, I get it. It's color coded, nice. Sometimes companies will color code the ring at the bottom. In this case, they color coded the entire microphone. Again, same metal, pretty good. I'm gonna keep the box because I think the box is good for transporting. Everything seems to fit. I don't need all these bags. Basically, that's a shipping thing. So basically, I'll show you what you get. Sorry this is taking so long, but throw some batteries in here. Batteries are not included, so make sure you have 4 double A's. Sure. Yeah, double A's. That's what you get, pretty much. And a couple of these rings. I probably won't use the wind screens because I think that makes the microphone look too big. And I've already ripped, you know, just a little bit because, you know, you can see it or not. That was my fault. Not a big deal. I think this looks more professional without it. You know. So everything fits in this little box. Put the manual in there. Fold this up. and you're good to go. I'm not sure where all this stuff is, how this fit in here a minute ago, but alright, not bad. And of course, this microphone cable, which I don't know how to fit it. That's it, new K040. They're saying for school presentations and whatever. FiFine technology. Not bad. I mean, China can make good stuff and they can make junk. And, you know, you think is what you get, which what you pay for, but sometimes you stumble across something that's just a company that actually doesn't make, you know, they make something pretty decent for the price. You know what I mean? They realize the consumer doesn't want to spend $300 on a Shure or whatever it is. They just want something they can use day in and day out. And if it breaks, it doesn't break the bank. So, thanks for listening, and look out for the next video, which will be a range test like we did on the other one to see how far it reaches. And I am curious to see how, like, the overlap frequencies, you have to keep it so many 2 megahertz apart. What happens when you put them right next to each other? Does anybody think about that? 2 megahertz. So you don't look at the point. If it's 573.1, the other one has to be 575.1. Not 573.1 and 573.3. That's 0.1 megahertz. That's my guess. We're going to find out though.